All right, it's time to do a little itty bitty video on insurance. All right, so oftentimes with a lot of things that we're either talking about in the office or posting about on our social media platforms, we get the question, does insurance cover this? So we want to address that concept.
The short answer in the office is sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Depends on what particular modality or treatment or whatever the case is that we're talking about. But this is not, this isn't meant to be a specific video about like, does insurance cover, 3 visits of chiropractic or 4 visits of massage, or this is really
about the paradigm.
It's a paradigm. It's the philosophy behind this whole process, because that's really why one of the major reasons that insurance in places like America are challenged and having the issues that they're having, because we've shifted really the true purpose of insurance as it relates to healthcare relative to how it relates to other things in our life, like the way we use life insurance or the way we use house insurance or car insurance. We use health insurance very differently, and ultimately that's causing so many of the problems. So as a quick conversation about that, typically, let's say we remodel our kitchen maybe every, 15, 20 years, 10 years, I have no idea. A new bathroom every 10 or 15 years. Maybe we'll paint a wall in the house. Our cars, I like trucks and stuff. So maybe I'll get a lift on my truck or new tires or something like that. These are theoretical, perceived improvements. I'm choosing to say, you know what? I don't like the color of my kitchen, or we need new cabinets, or my fridge is breaking. I need a new piece of equipment. You would never make an insurance claim to paint your kitchen or to redo your kitchen could cost, 20 grand. Like, it could be expensive to do something like that, but you would never put an insurance claim to do that, because you recognize that they, A, wouldn't cover it, B, your premiums would go up, and then, C, they would actually decide which cabinets you would want and how to do it, right? So you want control over all those things, and it doesn't even make sense in our mind to think about, oh, hey, Allstate should pay for my new kitchen, which is very different. Let's say your kitchen flooded and destroyed everything. That's a very different, right? So that's catastrophic coverage versus wellness coverage, right? The wellness coverage is I'm choosing to redo my kitchen, versus the catastrophic, which was I just redid my kitchen. Now there was a leak and it got totaled, and now I need a new kitchen. Or with a car, if you got like a little ding in a parking lot and you scratch someone's car, you would purposely try not to make a claim. You would try to be like, let's get an estimate. Let's find out if it's like $400. I'm just going to give you cash. I don't want to make a claim, because we know the consequences of making a claim, which include things like premium going up and having issues with our own insurance as a result. So that conversation typically makes a lot of sense to people. And we have coverage on our house. Like, if there was a fire, it's covered, thank God. Right? If something burned down, if something broke, if we had a flood, like, we don't necessarily have the money coverage in our pocket to handle like a house burning down. That's the whole purpose of insurance, is this catastrophic. That's the word. Catastrophic coverage. It sounds weird. Versus sort of maintenance and changes that you want to make. Well, for some reason, we've done something different with healthcare. And we've expected, and I don't know exactly why.
I think it's because it's called healthcare when it really should be called sick care. Like, in insurance plans, it's called catastrophic coverage sometimes, right? Yeah. So, insurance in general is not meant to make us healthier. That is something that's upon us currently, the way that our model is in the United States. We are one of the least healthy countries in the world, yet we spend the most on sick care. So we've got to flip it upside down. And we've really, I think times are changing, thank goodness, and people are taking the initiative. But it even breaks down to something as simple as, the investment that we need to choose to make for ourselves and our health when we're at the grocery store. So healthy, live, organic food that many people now realize the importance of organic and what pesticide covered food is doing for us. And that it's literally being shown to cause cancer. So that is an investment. You can buy a 50-cent apple, or you can buy a 99-cent apple. And, you know, tumors take years to develop and diseases take years to develop. And I do think that you feel an instant reaction to how you eat. You're either going to eat for health or you're going to eat for sickness. And you either feel energized by what you eat or you feel like you need a nap. And also there's a long-term benefit to eating healthy, and there's a long-term consequence to not. And so, you know, I think what's really important is to think about the big picture. And sick care insurance does not cover gym memberships. You know, these large companies don't help us with healthy food. WIC and food plans and things like that cover sick, toxic food. And so there's a time and a place for everything, you know, and we do have insurance. Personally, we choose a really high deductible insurance. We are covered, God forbid something happens to one of us or our family. But most of the things that we do for ourselves, we pay out of pocket. We recognize the power and the importance of prevention. And we know that that's not the job of sick insurance. That's our job to make that investment in our health. And so as a company in general, and a lot of the things that we promote that we know can take people's health to the next level, we choose not to play the insurance game. We don't rely on insurance to cover it. We are not holding our breath and hoping that one day they will. Instead, we choose to educate you guys on the importance of these things and the impact that it can make in you and your family. And we hope that one day the insurance and the healthcare in our country catches up. I don't know that it will. And I'm not going to wait for that to help people understand how important it is. Our country is sick and we need to do everything we can to get well.
You know, ultimately, they shouldn't, because for the same reasons that you wouldn't make a claim for your kitchen,
right?
We shouldn't be, you know, insurance isn't. So whenever we started having copays and having like $10 doctor visits or $5 doctor visits back in the day, it changed our thought process on what should be covered and what shouldn't be covered. But insurance companies haven't changed their mind. In other words, when we're trying, let's say for some of the services that we get covered, you know, certain treatments, like what is the, you know, what's the cost for that? And so if it costs a patient like $20 to come in for a visit, and then, you know, you bill out another $50 or something, but all the administrative fees, you know, you're paying somebody to process all these claims. And ultimately the insurance companies are looking at this like, wait, can you walk? Can you go to the bathroom? Can you get in and out of your car? Can you get out of your bed? And can you collect a paycheck? Then you're good. Like,
and that's enough for them.
And that's
if
enough,
that's
right?
Not enough for you,
right? So like they're covering their end. They're saying, listen, if you have a catastrophe, we will cover you. You can't get out of bed. That's not okay. You can't get to work and collect a paycheck. That's not okay. But you can't run a 5K as fast as you want. We don't really care about that. You're trying to improve your, you know, your fitness level or your activity level or your what. We're not interested in that. That's not their job. And so, you know, the shift isn't necessarily to improve how insurance views our choices. The shift is really ourselves changing how we view insurance and changing exactly what we're expecting from insurance companies. And there's a solution, I think, in terms of like costs and stuff. But the point of the video is really just to say, listen, if we're going to rely on them to pay for our wellness, we're going to be in a lot of trouble because they have no interest in it. They have interest in protecting us from catastrophe. We need to decide to make investments into our health by choosing other things in our life to improve that.
And for our kids, right? Big time for our kids. So we're here for you guys if you have any questions. We're super passionate about this. It's super important. And we encourage you all to take steps towards your health and your family.
That's right. Say bye, Kaya.